If you're like me, then sweets are your love language. But if you find that you're having a hard time shaking the cravings, then this video is for you. We are going to uncover some of the reasons why you might be having sugar cravings, as well as some healthier alternatives that will satisfy your sweet tooth. What's up, y'all? I'm Elena, and welcome back to the Adulting Kitchen. If you don't quite feel like an adult, but you're having to adult anyway and then try to eat well at the same time, then congrats, because we're in the same boat. The Adulting Kitchen is all about helping you create a healthy eating lifestyle, so do consider subscribing so we can grow in the kitchen together. So there are a few reasons why you might be craving sweets, but I've chosen to highlight 7 of the reasons that I felt were the most relevant for you and for me. So number 1 is stress, and number 2 is lack of sleep. And both of these cause hormone imbalances that tend to promote cravings, as well as make you more susceptible to caving into these cravings. So proper rest and stress management are very important things to consider when you are handling your cravings. Number 3 is dehydration. The sugar cravings that you might be feeling may be getting mixed up with your body's cues for thirst. I cover all of these reasons in more depth in my salt cravings video, so you can check that one out after this one if you would like more information on those. Number 4 is for medical reasons. Now, I did cover this in the salt cravings video as well, but the reasoning behind the sugar cravings and the salt cravings can vary. And some medical reasons that might come up with sugar cravings are a fluctuation of blood sugar, or you've built an insulin resistance, or maybe signs of diabetes, or any of those things, and it could be more. So if you are experiencing prolonged cravings, or you notice something's happening with your blood sugar, or just something is off, I would recommend highly that you seek professional help from a medical professional that can kind of lead you in the right direction of the next steps that you need to take to not only kill the cravings, but to, keep your body in check and make sure that you are in optimal health. Number 5 is that you've had too many carbs and not enough proteins or fat. Carbs include sugars, they include starches, and they include fiber. But sugars and starches are typically the main culprits of our sugar cravings. The body typically processes carbohydrates rather quickly, and especially refined carbs, because they don't have as many nutrients. This is going to include the stuff like your crackers, your pastries, your cupcakes, your muffins, cookies, all of those things. So with your proteins and your fats, it's going to take your body more energy to break those down and digest them. So they typically stay in your system for longer than carbs do. So this could be a reason, one, why you might be finding yourself hungry after a meal or a snack, but then also why you might be craving sugar. Number 6 is that you've had too many artificial sweeteners. Though artificial sweeteners are typically lower in calories, like your Sweeten Lows, and you'll see these a lot in diet drinks and stuff too, they are usually sweeter than sugar. So they're gonna change your taste buds and make you start to crave things that are more sweet. And number 7 is that you didn't eat enough. I see people often grabbing a granola bar or a muffin and running out the door in the morning, or just saying, I don't have time for breakfast, and they miss it altogether. And that's really not setting your day up in the best way possible. And it's only, opening the door for those cravings to start creeping in throughout the day. So in situations like this, when you have not eaten enough, your body is low on fuel and is looking for energy rather quickly. So it's going to look to your sugars, it's going to look to your starches, anything that's going to allow it to get quick energy so it can keep working for you. So I think this is really big for a lot of people, and it happens a lot. So if you're craving sweets and you haven't eaten breakfast, or you haven't had enough throughout the day, this is probably why. These are just a few reasons why you might be experiencing these sugar cravings. So as you can see, it can get pretty complex, but it is important for you to consider all of these variables. The main thing I would say though is to drink water. Like that should be your first line of defense. But then beyond that, make sure that you've had enough rest. And then also be mindful of what you're having at your meal times to best avoid these cravings altogether. But if these cravings are present and you need something that you can do about it like right now, or you're just looking for a sweet treat, here are some options for you to consider. So let's start off with the crunchy. The first thing I would recommend is hard produce. So this is your apples, your pears, even carrots, or maybe like snap peas because they're slightly sweet. But if you're wanting something a little more sweet, then I would definitely lean towards the apples and the pears. The hard produce, as we all know, is gonna give a crunch, especially a nice crisp apple. Baby, it ain't nothing like it.
You bite into that thing and it's beautiful. Beautiful, all right? And
you need to experience that more in your life. So that's something to consider as a sweet, crunchy option. I've got freeze-dried fruits. Freeze-dried fruits are basically like fruit chips, honestly. But I think they are so much better because fruits are freeze-dried at their most optimal state. So you're getting all of those nutrients and that fiber and all that good stuff that we like from eating fruits. The only thing it's lacking is the moisture. But it's crunchy, so that's what we're going for here. So it's a lot of different brands that produce freeze-dried fruits. A lot of store brands like your Walmarts, Target, Aldi, they all have generic brands of freeze-dried fruits that I think are pretty good. I've had the Aldi ones, I've had the Target ones. I hadn't tried Walmart's, but they are usually pretty solid quality. It's also some name brands like Simply Truth and So Natural that produce some as well. The next thing I would suggest is rice cakes. And I know most people think rice cakes are boring, and rightfully so, because they are. I'm not saying that they aren't. They don't do much. They just be there, all right? It's rice, all right? Especially if you get them with no flavor and unsalted or whatever. It is just styrofoam, all right? But they are a great base, I think, for putting on healthier toppings. So I typically do it with like some peanut butter. I'll put yogurt on it sometimes and then top it with my favorite fruits like berries, bananas. I put some nuts on it sometimes. So you can really make it into whatever type of creation that you want. I've also done dessert hummus, which is amazing. 10 out of 10 recommend any dessert hummus that you come across. I haven't met one that I didn't like yet. So all of those are pretty solid options for putting on top of that bland, boring rice cake. And lastly in this section, I would recommend granola. I personally love granola, but I've always gotten like the cheap ones, I ain't gonna lie. So that I could recommend a nice brand to you guys. I tried out a new one that I've had my eye on, and clearly I liked it because the bag's empty. So sorry. I really meant to try this on camera with you guys and have y'all, come into the experience with me. But child, I opened it up. All right, that was my bad. I shouldn't have did that, but I really wanted some crunch on my breakfast last week, and then it just continued throughout the whole week until the bag was gone. Okay, but here we are. We got Pure Elizabeth here, which is a whole grain granola, and it's got quinoa in it, chia seeds in it. It's very nutrient dense, and it's made from sweetened coconut sugar, and it's baked with coconut oil. It's only got 6 grams of sugar, so it's not a sugar overload. But these grains are organic, they're whole grains, and they're really good for you. And let me tell you, from someone that is an avid buyer of extremely cheap granolas, there is a difference, all right? There is a clear difference. Like, you can taste the earthiness of this one. Way more filling than some of the more processed, cheaper granolas. So I really enjoyed this one. Now, she was $5, all right? She was $5 as opposed to the one I usually get, which is $2.19. Okay, but I really think it's worth the investment. it's just good. It was just good. Like, I want another one. It was just good. I really don't know if I can go back. But then also for granolas, you can make your own, which I haven't done yet. I've tasted other people's homemade granolas and I've loved it, but I haven't made my own. I'll venture out to do that one day. But it's fairly easy to do, and you can get creative with it and put whatever you want in it. So I think that's a perk to making your own too. So the first thing I would recommend is fresh fruits. So the ones that I didn't recommend in the crunchy category, I would recommend here. So everything that's gonna be juicy and chewy is your berries, it's grapes, it's citrus, all of those kinds of things. You got grapefruits in that, you got raspberries, strawberries, you've got oranges, tangerines, you've got green grapes, you've got those delicious cotton candy grapes, you've got red grapes. You got so many different options with the fresh fruits. And then even like pineapples, and these fresh fruits are going to provide you with a healthy source of sugar that your body really needs. The next option is dried fruits. And nowadays you really have an expanded variety with your dried fruits. They dry everything. It's not just raisins no more. You got cranberries, you got blueberries,
You got apricots, you got pineapples, you got mangoes, you got anything.
So my only word of caution for these is that some of them may have some added sugar. So you'll want to just check to see how much sugar is added, if any, and just place that under consideration before you consider it as a snack for you. Next, I've got my good old fruit strips. If you've seen my plant-based snack video, then you've seen me talk about these at length. They're amazing. In that video, I didn't show you what the actual strip looked like though, so here they are. It's terribly cute. I might even open it for you, honestly. So it's definitely giving fruit roll up. It would definitely be a good option for a sweet treat that is chewy, because it's giving you fruit snack, fruit roll up type vibes. And since I got it here, these have a total of 10 grams of sugar. So 4 grams of added sugar, but then the other 6 grams are coming from the fruit that's included, which is, it's got an apple puree, it's got some lemon, it's got strawberry, and all of those things. So I think it's a very good option to consider as a chewy. For the last option, I would recommend cookies and fruit bars. And I know, yeah, cookies. They make lots of healthier versions of these cookies now. They make a lot of bars and stuff nowadays that are made from dates, which are naturally sweet and don't really include any additional sugars to that. Brands like Nature's Own, which I have tried, I really enjoy their stuff, and just the way that they incorporate the dates in there to where it don't taste too datey and too natural. Like, it's still appetizing, which I like. So that's something for you to consider, as well as these 3 ingredient cookies that I'm about to show you right now. I just got home from class. It was super long and I'm super hungry, so we're gonna make some 3 ingredient banana chocolate chip cookies using only a banana, chocolate chips, and I didn't pull out all of my ingredients before I started doing this. Hold on. Ooh, turn on the fan. Some oats. So let's do it. I should probably let them cool off, but I'm not gonna do that. It's good. It tastes just like a bowl of oatmeal. And for me, it's sweet enough. Since my banana was so ripe, it really sweetened it up. I give it a solid 9 out of 10 just because there's always improvements that can be made. A pretty solid snack right here for sure. So the last section I've got is creamy and smooth and soft. We've got the sweet potato, and we love her because she's naturally sweet and she's really soft. Then you can also make it sweeter and a little bit more fun, because come on, a plain sweet potato can get pretty boring. You can add some other things in. You can do peanut butters, you can do hummuses, like all the stuff that I talked about you put on the rice cake, you can put in here.
Greek yogurt, you can put nuts in there, you can put some of those dried fruits in there, you can put freeze-dried fruits in there, you can put fresh fruits, you can put different nut butters, not even peanut butters, but like almond butters, you can put cashew butters, you can put chocolate in there even if you want to do that. You can do some whipped cream. You can do ice cream.
Like, I feel like the sweet potato is really underrepresented because you can do a lot with them, honestly. Next, I've got chia pudding. And that's literally just chia seeds and milk. So it can be whatever milk you want. I've done it with almond. I've used soy. And I think I've used coconut as well. And it tastes pretty great with all of those. You will have to add an additional sweetener to it because neither one of those things are sweet. So you can sweeten it with maple syrup. You can do honey. Sometimes I include protein powder in mine if I'm not having it for a snack, but I'm like doing it as a breakfast. Since those powders have sugar, I don't add any additional sugars. I'll just do the powder and it'll be sweet enough for me. Now, to sweeten it up a little bit more, you can add some fruit. You can do dried fruit, but I prefer to use fresh fruit on mine. So the next thing I would recommend is baked oats, because they are literally the best. They have a really cakey texture, and that's why I really like them, because I love cupcakes. I love to eat cake. So if I can do it in a healthy way, I mean, absolutely, I'm gonna do it. I've done a few baked oat videos on my Instagram at The Adulting Kitchen, so definitely check those out if you would like to know how I made mine. And the last thing I would recommend is banana ice cream, which is new for me. I've never made it before, actually. This was my first time. So I'm chilling today, homework, editing, blah, blah, blah. So we're gonna make some one ingredient banana ice cream. And the only ingredient is frozen bananas. But I've got some other ingredients over here just in case I need to spruce it up a bit. It's a little thick, so I think I'm gonna add some milk. I had some vanilla and some honey on standby just in case I needed it, but those bananas were so ripe, it's incredibly sweet, so I really don't need to do nothing to it. So I'm about to put it in the freezer and then try it. I probably let it sit out for too long because it's not very firm, but you know, it is what it is. We're here now. But it smells very good. Like, I don't understand why I've never had it before. Like, this should be a thing, because it was literally 2 ingredients. This is literally the simplest thing. 2 ingredients that are both fairly inexpensive. Yeah, we're gonna go and wrap up this video right quick because I got some chocolate I want to put on this. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. And now that I know what it tastes like by itself, I can't wait to try different mix-ins and make it a little bit more funky, you know, jazz it up a bit. That is it for this video. I am so grateful that you chose to hang out with me today, and I really hope that there was something that you can take away from this video that is going to help you out. If you liked it, be sure to leave me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments which of these on this list was your favorite, or which one you'd be willing to try out. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Did you see I'm wearing black today? It's because we just killed these sugar cravings, okay? They're gone. They're deceased. Dead, all right? It's a funeral. This was a funeral. You didn't know. You didn't know, now you know.